What's up? What's happening? What's popping? What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another great episode of Simone with the Sports. I'm Simone, bringing you guys daily sports talk. So if you're new here, if you're old here and you haven't already subscribed to the channel yet, stop what you're doing, leave a comment, subscribe, keep rocking with me. Also, make sure you check out the links down below. The first link is to buy me a coffee that'll fuel this channel that you guys love so much. The second link is to shop the official Simone with the Sports merch collection. Get you the classy tee, the wavy tee, or the brand new fly or die crew neck for all of my Birds fans. And lastly, guys, turn your notification bells on because you already know the videos are coming like boom, 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 and you don't want to miss a single video or a single live stream, especially, guys, now that we're getting down to the heat of the season. You don't want to miss ye. But, guys, I know I've been gone for a long time. It's been a lot that we haven't discussed because, you know, I was been busy. You know, back-to-back weekends, I was booked and busy. So, you know what? I wasn't here. But I'm back in the stew. Hopefully, I'll be back in the stew all week so you guys don't have to get any of those car videos or all that mumbo jumbo. You know what I'm saying? I'll be back in the stew, gang, back in the stew. But, guys, we got a lot of G to get into. So, like I said, it's been a long time since we talked, but a lot has happened. So let's start with the 76. Well, let's start with the NBA standings overall. Last time we spoke, the Heat were the number 1 seed. The Sixers were the number 2 seed. Now, guys, the Celtics are the number 1 seed at 47-28. The Heat are the number 2 seed at 47-28. The Bucks, 46-28, sitting at number 3. The Sixers fell all the way down to number 4, 46-28, but we know all of these top 4 teams, like we keep saying, are neck and neck. This is pretty much going to be flip-flopping every day until we get to the playoffs. The Bulls are 3 games behind. Well, they're 4 games behind number 1 at 23-31, sitting at number 5. The Raps, number 6, 42-32. The Cavs, number 7, 41-33. Y'all, this is when things get murky. The Nets lost to the Hornets, so the Nets are no longer the number 8 seed. The Hornets are now at number 8, 39-36, with the tiebreaker over the Nets. The Nets are 39-36 at number 9. But now the Nets, if the playoffs started today, will have to win 2 games in order to get into the playoffs, with the Hawks at number 10, 37, 2 games behind the number 9 and the number 8 seed. So how did all of this happen? We're about to get into all of this. We know the Celtics are really balling out at number 1, but let's talk a little bit about how the Sixers fell. The Sixers went 2-3 on their West Coast road trip. We beat the Clippers. We beat the Lakers, 2 teams we should have beaten. LeBron did not play when we played the Lakers. And we know the Clippers have been Kawhi and Paul George-less for an eternity. The Sixers did lose to the red hot, no pun intended, Suns. The Suns just, we had a 16-point lead. Again, offense fell through, defense fell through. D-Book stepped up. It was nothing the Sixers could do. James Harden, I'm not going to keep ranting about this, went 2 of 12. James Harden arguing with the refs. I just hate people that's arguing with the refs. Hustle back to the other end of the floor. You gonna argue down every play? You've been arguing down plays for the last 10 years. You've been arguing plays for the last 10 seasons. Obviously, the refs are not going at your will. Like, I hate when a player is, after every single call, debating, arguing the ref, whining. That is so annoying to me. Like, I don't care if that's a player on my team or a player on another team. It's annoying as heck. And that has been James Harden's mantra forever, and it's starting to really get on my nerves, especially when you're shooting 2 of 12 and you're hesitant to cook up Shamit. I mean, if Shamit is guarding you, you would think James Harden would be, like, going on a tear. Like, it's Landry Shamit. God damn it. I'm sorry, I had to. But, y'all, James Harden, the wishy-washiness is just, you would think the inconsistent players on our team would be like Korkmaz, Shake. You would think Joel, who is extremely consistent, had a great night last night. You would think the inconsistencies would be coming from the bench. Or even Tobias Harris, who we know is an odd man out. Tobias has been more consistent the last couple of games than James Harden has been. Tobias had a great night last night. We know Joel Embiid, night in and night out, is going to have a great night. Joel almost had 40 points last night. We still lost. They sent double teams, of course, to James Harden, leaving guys wide open, or, you know, Joel Embiid in a favorable matchup. Joel Embiid, of course, always taking advantage of the matchup, either getting the bucket or getting fouled, regardless. Joel, when he gets double teamed, you know, always finding the right read, always finding the right player to kick it out to. But James, the decision-making down the stretch, the decision-making late, dribbling the ball for so long, running the shot clock down to 1. Really troublesome. I'm really not going to harp too much. Like I said, we're only 1 game behind the number 1 seed, even though we're number 4 seed. Matisse, we know Matisse struggles. I mean, Matisse, when we're playing a team like the Suns, we're playing somebody like Devin Booker. Matisse just, you know, he has such a tough assignment on defense. That dude has no energy, no gas left on offense, and that really hurt us last night. I mean, he had another solid defensive night, but just on the offensive end, just not adding anything for the team on offense. TYRESE Maxey, of course, struggled. You know, Chris Paul, D-Book, there's nothing you can do with them defensively. So, I mean, Tyrese, still gotta love him. But guys, we got a lot to get into. Like I said, the Celtics are now the number 1 seed. The Celtics just cooked the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Celtics have just been cooking anybody in their path. Just cooked the Timberwolves. So they're now the number 1 seed. Like I said, the Nets lost to the Hornets and bumped down to number 9. The big question, are the Heat tanking? A lot of y'all think the Heat are tanking. The Heat, we know, lost to the Sixers without James and Joel. Went on and lost to the Warriors without Clay, Steph, or Draymond. Went on and lost to the Knicks. And then went on and lost to the Nets. And the Nets isn't a bad loss. It's the Nets. That's not a bad loss. But it's the compounding effect. You just lost to 3 teams you should have marked at the moment, and then you lost to the Nets. So they just been taking loss after loss after loss after loss. So a lot of you guys are speculating and saying the Heat do not want to be the number 1 seed because they don't want to play possibly have to play the Nets if they play in and become the number 8 seed. But y'all, I definitely don't think that's the case. I mean, I can see why you would be looking at the standings, but I feel like in any league, the goal is to get the top seed. The top seed you can always get. I feel like playing around and trying to lose around is just bad karma and just bad juju. And I really don't think a team on this level, any team, would be trying not to get the number 1 seed. I feel like you always want to get the top seed, because at the end of the day, it's the reason why the Nets would be the number 8 seed. And I know KYRIE hasn't been playing all season. Boom, 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 boom. James Harden drama. Kevin Durant was hurt. So they did have a lot of drama. But at the end of the day, I feel like you always want to be the top seed. And the seedings and the rankings are going to shake out how they're supposed to at the end of the day. So I don't know. I don't know. It looks like the Heat might have been taking a little bit. I mean, the Knicks, the Warriors with nobody, the Sixers with nobody. I mean, I don't know, but shoot, they better get their shit together quick. But at the same time, they're still tied with the Celtics for number 1. I mean, the Celtics have the tiebreaker. But other than that, like I said, Devin Booker, y'all, I know it's been Joel and the Joker for MVP, but y'all, I'm really starting to understand these D-Book MVP talk. I mean, D-Book, when Chris Paul went out, we thought that when Chris Paul went out, the Suns had already secured at least a playoff spot, just because of their incredible record. But y'all, D-Book, the way he's been carrying the team, putting the team on his back, keeping the Suns as still a force even without the point guard out there. I mean, D-Book, y'all, you gotta love it. You gotta respect it. I definitely think D-Book is gonna be definitely, and especially if the Suns clinch the number 1 seed, you know, they like to give best team, best player, best team. If the Suns clinch the number 1 seed, I really think D-Book might really swoop in and become the MVP. But y'all, we really have to talk about these upcoming schedules because, like I said, this is tight. Right now, we're the number 4 seed. We'll be playing, if the playoffs started today, we'll be playing the Bulls. And we know we own the Bulls. We know that. We know we own the Bulls. So honestly, I wouldn't even be mad at that. Right now, the Heat will be playing the number 7 team. The number 7 seed right now is the Cavs. The Bucks will be playing the 6th seed, which would be the Raptors. The Celtics would be playing, like I said, right now, no play-in, conversation and talk. The Celtics will be playing a number 8 seed. Right now, the number 8 seed is the Hornets. So, like I said, I feel like teams need to do what you need to do to get the top seed. And that's for everybody. Because at the end of the day, if the net, any one of these teams could end up being the 7th or 8th seed. Cavs, Hornets, Nets, and Hawks, to be honest. There's only one dangerous team in there, and that's the Nets. So I don't understand why a team would be tanking and trying to play around when you don't even know for sure if it's going to be the Nets that's even going to be that 8th seed. So I feel like the teams should all be gunning for the number 1 seed. And it's not like the Nets are a juggernaut. They're a really good team, but at the end of the day, they're still beatable, as we just saw the other night against the Hornets. But y'all, let's talk about the upcoming schedules because, like I said, it's about 7 or 8 games left. So things are tight, y'all. Like I said, we're so easily could be 1 through 4. I feel like we're either going to be 1 through 4. We have a 3-game cushion on the number 5 seed. So we're definitely going to end up somewhere 1 through 4. But y'all, the schedules are tight. So let's start with the top seed. The Celtics, in my opinion, have the toughest schedule remaining. They're the toughest team right now with the toughest schedule remaining. The Celtics have the Raptors, the Heat, the Bulls, the Bucks, and the Grizzlies. The Celtics have the hardest schedule, in my opinion, out of the Eastern Conference contenders. The Grizzlies, they play them last. We know the Grizzlies are going to be gunning for a top seed in their own conference. So we know the Grizzlies, that's going to be a tough game to end with. 2 teams that's going to be trying to fight for a top seed. So that's going to be a tough matchup. Outside of the Celtics, the Bucks have an extremely hard schedule as well. And now I'm starting to think the Bucks have a harder schedule than the Celtics. The Bucks have the 76ers, the Nets, the Mavs, the Bulls, the Celtics, and the Cavs. Okay, yeah, the Bucks have the hardest schedule. Each of these teams, we do have other games sprinkled in, but they're like the Pistons and the Pacers. I'm only mentioning the tough teams that people have left. That still doesn't mean, a Pacers can't upset somebody or Pistons can't upset somebody. But I'm just talking about the marquee matchups that these teams have left. The Bucks have the 76ers, the Nets, the Mavs, the Bulls, the Celtics, and the Cavs. That's tough for the Bucks. The Sixers, out of all of us, we kind of have the easiest schedule left. We have the Bucks, the Hornets, the Cavs, and the Raptors. Those are our toughest teams. Other than that, we have the Pistons and Pacers twice, I believe. The Bucks is going to be tough. The Hornets, like I said, are trying to... The Hornets are only 2 games outside of 7. So just depending on how things go, the Hornets could even become the number 7 seed. So the Hornets are playing really tough right now, really trying to make a mark. And, they're really giving play in, but they're really trying not to be that 9 or 10 seed. So the Hornets are going to be a tough game. They just took down the Nets. The Cavs and Raptors. We know the Raptors love messing around and beating us. And the Cavs, we've done fine. We've handled the Cavs, but still, they're going to be scrappy late. The Cavs are only 1 game behind the number 6 seed, so the Cavs are going to be trying to avoid the play-in scenario for sure. So the Cavs are going to be a tough team. The Nets, y'all, have the easiest remaining schedule, in my opinion. Their toughest teams, in my opinion, left are the Bucks, the Hawks, and the Cavs. Like I said, of course, the Bucks are going to be trying to get the number 1 seed. The Hawks are going to be trying to avoid the number 10 seed. They're only 2 games behind the Nets and the Hornets at 9 and 8. And we know that they're a scrappy team. And the Cavs, like I said, number 7 seed, they're going to be trying to get the number 6 seed. But the Nets, y'all, have the easiest schedule. Like I said, the Bucks, the Hawks, and the Cavs, that's the easiest schedule remaining. Those are their toughest teams. The Hornets, y'all, have a pretty tough schedule ahead. Right now, the Hornets are the number 8 seed. They have the tiebreaker against the Nets, and they're 2 games above the 10th seed Hawks. But the Hornets, out of the Hornets, Nets, and Hawks, the 3 bottom teams, the Hornets have the hardest schedule. So I'm not sure if the Hornets are even going to stay at number 8 for long. They have the Nuggets, the 76ers, the Heat, and the Bulls. So that's 4 tough games out of their, I believe, like 7 games remaining, around 7. So the Hornets, they're sitting at number 8 right now, but that is a very, very, very fragile 8. The Celtics are standing at number 1, standing strong, looking amazing, but they will be tested down the road because they have a tough schedule. And the Bucks, y'all, they're number 2, they're number 3 right now, but the Bucks, boy, they got some tough teams left. But y'all, we had to get into the thick of it because it's been a lot going on. I had to catch you guys up. A lot going on in the top 4 seeds. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think the Heat are tanking? Do you think D-Book should be the MVP right now? Do you think the Nets are the biggest threat to a top seed team? Are you more worried about having to play a scrappy Hornets team or a scrappy Hawks team if they wiggle into the 8th seed? But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, keep rocking with me. Check out the links down below. Buy me that coffee, shop the official SymoneWithTheSports merch collection, and until talk to you guys next time. Bye.